My name is Omar Abasad. It's Monday, February 11, 2019 at 12:01 p.m. So I'm going to give you a sample of my tagging today. And it was alarming a few seconds ago. It's not alarming anymore. Oh, here. See how point specific that is? And I'm going to sneeze. And that sneeze, or the feeling to sneeze, is a direct, I'm suspecting is a direct result of being pulsed that showed up just now as an alarm. The temple. And there's a helicopter circling my building. Well, I think it's a helicopter. Could be wrong. Good job. And I'm just going to take, that's the hand again. So the intervals between the pulses has increased. So I'm just going to take my blood pressure. Since the frequency of the pulses has decreased, the blood pressure should not be very much higher than normal. At least that's what I'm predicting. So I'm just taking the pressure, and I just lost it. It's very touch sensitive. So I'm just going to wait for a few seconds. And it's 123/82. So it's a little bit high for me, because my normal is about 117 over high 70s, so a little bit high. So, but I'm still tagged, as you can tell. And when I'm pulsed, it's at a higher power, which is indicated by the brightness of the light, the alarm. So let me see if other places of my body is tagged. Yeah, that's my obliques. My obliques. And my hip. So someone is always logged in. And this morning at around 6 o'clock, my alarm went off between my legs, and there was a burning sensation and there was a pulsing sensation as well. So much like imitating the sex act. And of course I was shielding, but I could feel the pulsing of my body. You can actually feel the vibration that it causes when you pulse a person with this technology, when you turn up the power. It's very possible that other technologies are being used as well. sonic technology, ultrasound technology. So if you bounce sound waves off your body, and I'd imagine if you turn it up or down, you get different sensations. If you get an ultrasound, you don't feel it, but I imagine if you alter that technology, you can actually feel, have a sensation created. So haptic technology picks up that sensation. So apparently, from my understanding of what I read about the technology, which is being used in porn sites and for people who consent to it, consenting partners to have sex over the internet, they're using this technology to actually feel their partner. So this is just being abused when it's being used on targets without consent. So anyway, so the technology, as I was saying, goes like this. Yeah, you bounce the sounds off the surface, and the surface reflects the sound back, and the sensors on the hand or on the material that you're wearing um, um, senses the waves coming back, the sound waves coming back, and that way you can feel the person. So this is a kind of technology that's being used. So when my when I feel the vibration or I feel a phantom touch effect, and there is no microwave alarm going off, then it's very possible that this technology is being used. Now, it's common knowledge by now that experimentation is being done. Other people all around the world, lots of them, are talking about being experimented on covertly. So a lot of people are saying the government is doing it. Me personally, I don't think the government is doing it. I think that there is very, very cheap technology available on the internet, on the black market. If you have money and connections, you can get anything. This, in my case, is being done by traffickers and criminals, just because they could, just because they could take advantage of what they think are vulnerable people who will not fight back. In my case, so definitely, I do not believe my government is doing this to me. I do believe that there are things that could be done in the process of investigation, the technology available to the police to investigate this, and the change in the police's attitude towards women's complaints when they talk about being raped and assaulted by remote technologies. They should be taken seriously. There is a misogynistic attitude that's well documented in the police force and the RCMP. There's been court cases based on this. So this attitude exists. So this is something that needs to be addressed. Of course, they need to be given the technology to investigate these crimes. I mean, let's face it. If you would take a knife and you cut into somebody's vagina or cut off their penis or stick it in their anus, and you could do the same thing. Obviously, you'll be causing harm. They'll be bleeding. It's very obvious that an injury has been done, and that's rape. But if you do the same thing with a laser, or an ultrasound, a sonic technology, or a microwave technology, and you get the same effect. You get internal bleeding, you get pain, you get the rape effect, you get the psychological effect of being raped. What's the difference? What is the difference? It's the same thing. So the psychological impact is the same thing, especially when the perpetrators, knowing very well that they will not be held responsible for what they're doing, and it's very hard to track the technology because in a lot of cases the victims are kept poor, so they can't find the technology and buy the technology to prove their case. So the perpetrators turn around and rub their noses in it, victims' noses in it. Like I get comments outside my window. I get the workers saying, I sent a lot of men inside of her. We're going to kill it, we're going to kill it, we're going to rape it, we're going to rape it. We're not going to pass you, that you're going to fail the test. So they're rubbing your noses in it. So this is what needs to be changed. This has to be changed. The elephant in the room has to become invisible because women predominantly are raped with this technology. I'm not saying men are not, more so. They're becoming victims, especially boys, because a lot of gay people are involved in in this crime. A lot of bisexual people, so they prefer boys. So the boys are victimized, and men, of course, grown men are victimized. Because keep in mind, if a grown man is saying, "Gee, I think somebody's invading my anus," with a laser, he would immediately get committed, mentally committed. So the elephant in the room is used as a cover to perpetrate this crime against just about anybody. Anybody can be victimized this way. So while I don't think my government is doing this, I think attention should be paid to women's complaints, and resources should be directed to the police force to investigate and to educate and change the attitude in the police force towards women who complain about being raped this way. Resources need to be invested in these areas. I mean, in my videos, I'm proving that there is a direct relationship between microwaves, electromagnetic technology, which of course is a form of microwaving. Excuse me, it's part of the microwave spectrum. I mean, I've proved time and time again that it is causing burning sensation, it's causing pain, that is showing up as high blood pressure, high heart rate. And there are other side effects as well to the electromagnetic radiation. It constricts your blood vessels. Therefore, it's another factor that increases your blood pressure and your heart rate. And it also causes a lot of stress, because pain, of course, causes stress. Stress increases your cortisol level. So I'd imagine that, I haven't proven it yet. I didn't do any sort of an experiment with that. I guess that would be a drug test. It would most likely cause your blood pressure to increase. Just the sensation of feeling pain would stress you out, and that would cause your blood pressure to increase. That would be on the psychological side of it. So there is a lot of side effects to being assaulted this way. I mean, there's psychological effects, there's emotional effects, there's physical effects, and it needs to be addressed. It really needs to be addressed. Talk to you another time.